Hello everybody. At this time we are talking about a sales target. A sales target is a specific goal or objective set by a company or individual for the amount of products or services they aim to sell within a given time period. Sales targets are often used to track performance and motivate sales teams. Targets can be set by revenue, units sold, or customers acquisitions and are adjusted based on market conditions. Achieving sales target is critical for a company's success and can impact revenue, profitability, and market share. Sales targets can also be used to evaluate performance and incentivize sales personnel. One of the keys of setting sales target is ensuring it's feasible to entire team. Designing an effective sales target visual can have a huge impact. For example, a bullet chart captures current performance, past performance, and target in a single visual. Once trained on using this visual, your team will be able to instantly tell how sales are performing. And then we move to importance of sales targets. The first important, set clear expectations for teams. Sales targets show your team exactly what to focus on and prioritize. When everyone knows their goals, confusion disappears, accountability improves, and success becomes a shared responsibility. And then second, enhances employee morale. Reacting realistic sales targets gives your team a sense of achievement and keeps motivation high. When employees see how their efforts contribute to the company's growth, they feel valued and inspired to do more. And then third, facilitates growth planning. Sales targets help you plan for the future by forecasting growth and guiding results decisions. Whether you're launching a new product or expanding to new markets, these goals keep you on track for success. And then fourth, improves overall performance. Setting clear targets makes it easier to track progress, find areas for improvement, and adjust strategies. And then we move to types of sales targets. The first type, time-based sales target. This sales target is broken down by time frame, for example, yearly, monthly, weekly, and daily sales target. This can also include sales targets for a specific occasion or day. And then the second, product sales targets. Sometimes the business wants to accelerate the sales of specific product and can do this by setting product sales targets for the team. This target is set in terms of units sold. And then the third, location-based sales targets. This is when the company-wide sales plan is broken down by locations, for example, country, region, store, etc. And then fourth, individual sales targets. Some businesses do not only give location sales targets, such as store targets, but then also assign individual sales targets for the sales team within that location. And then how to create a sales target. The first step, calculate your previous sales. You can use the information you collected about sales in previous quarters to understand the team's productivity. These metrics can help you adjust the targets that you're setting to reflect the needs and capabilities of your team. For example, you can decide whether to increase targets to account for lost revenue in previous sales periods, or you can lower the target if it was too high. Your previous sales can also help you set a starting point from where you can improve. And then second, forecast your needs. Targets usually come from budget planning to determine the revenue that the company requires to cover the cost of business for the sales period. Using that number, you can determine each individual salesperson's target by dividing the overall target by the number of salespeople. And then third, increase the target. You can set a target that's higher than the budget plan, such as this gives you a goal to work towards so that even if you don't meet it, you can still cover your costs. To continue to foster growth for the team and earn more revenue, increase your sales goal. And then we move to calculation of sales target. Sales target is calculated based on the influencing factors. There are two ways a company decides on sales targets. The first, bottom-up approach. Here, the individual contributors collectively send their sales forecast, which is compiled and sent to management. The forecast is based on last year's achievement, industry trend, customers' feedback, and the geographic area. The senior management, after review, makes changes if necessary and send the targets back to the front line. And then the second, top-bottom approach. Here, the analysis of the industry is done by the management and the targets are decided and percolated downwards to the individual contributors. Very few companies rely on this model. And then we move to the difference between sales targets and sales goals. While both sales targets and sales goals are important for driving growth and performance, the main difference between them lies in their scope. Sales targets are focused on short-term objectives and are designed to incentivize individual or team performance. Sales goals, on the other hand, are broader, long-term objectives that are tied to the company's overall strategy and vision. The other difference are the first. Sales targets are specific numbers or metrics set for industrials or teams to achieve in a short-term period. And the second, the main difference between the two lies in their scope, with sales targets being focused on the short term and sales goals being focused on the long term. And then third, sales goals are larger overarching objectives set by management aligned with overall business strategy. Understanding the difference between sales targets and sales goals is crucial for businesses to achieve optimal sales performance and growth. By setting clear targets and goals, companies can incentivize their sales teams and align their strategies with their overall business objectives. By focusing on both short-term and long-term goals, businesses can achieve sustainable growth and remain competitive in their markets. I think it is enough. Thanks for watching.